Hi friends, it's Connie, the late blooming crafter. After several attempts of filming the last journal video that I made of the flip through of my first real junk journal, I'm on a roll, so I'm going to do a flip through of another one. And it's the same day, not much time later has passed, so guess who's still in her sunny spot? Jojo, say hi. Yes, I'm mommy's baby. Yeah, that's my Jojo. My children and grandchildren, if they ever watch these videos, will think Grandma's pretty silly because she loves JoJo. But JoJo gives me a lot of joy, as I mentioned. So, funny thing about this journal is it's been sitting on, this is my dining room table, by the way. That's my living room. And I'm making do to make videos. And this journal I finished probably 2 or 3 months ago, and it's been tied up. I don't know if there's anything left to do in it. So when we flip through this for the video, I'll be just as surprised as you are, perhaps, because I don't really remember much about it. But what I wanted to say was this is just scrap stock kind of thick paper that came out of a pad that I got at Joann's. And I didn't know to score it, and so I ended up covering the edges with washi tape, which I think actually turned out pretty cute, because if you don't score some paper, the white shows, and I didn't realize how to prevent that. I knew that it did that because of what happened with this journal that I mentioned in my first video, or my second video, but I didn't know until later, after I'd already made this one, that if you score paper, sometimes that helps it not to have that problem. But it was too late. I'd already done this one. So I'll try that sometime. But anyway, let's open up this journal and see what we can see. My videos are to hopefully inspire late blooming crafters like myself that you can make beautiful things and you can learn. I'm 61 years old. I didn't get into painting furniture until in my 50s, and I started flipping smalls and furniture and things at a vintage store nearby where I live. And then furniture got to be too heavy, so I started doing small boxes. And then I was gifted a junk journal that blew my mind. That's my first video, if you want to go back and see that. And I started watching tutorials and learning how to make junk journals, and that's my new venture. So let's dive in. Here I punched holes and was able to make a closure that way. And just use some little string that's kind of velvety. I don't know what it's called, but it was in some of my stash. And then instead of using wax thread, I used some embroidery floss to sew in my signatures because the pink was just so pretty. Okay, so here's some more of the ephemera that I learned how to make from Kathy's Garden. And then decorated it. It just holds a card, a journaling card. And it's just a hidden pocket. I'm not sure what it's called, but there's so many tutorials out there. They're just fun to learn, and then have a little stash that you can add to your journals. And then I stamped it. I thought this would be kind of a fun idea. I'm sure I didn't think of it, but drank a lot of tea this last winter, and I've got a lot of tea bags that I set aside and saved the little string with the attached label. I'm not selling this, so I don't think that's a problem. I'm going to gift this. This is a paper doily that I adhered to the paper to make it a little bit stronger because the paper doilies are pretty wimpy. And I talked about these that I made and that I'll do a tutorial on, because I think that the way I do them is I'm going to have, they're decoupaged file folders, and they're layered and then stamped. And the way I learned to decoupage when I did the little boxes turns out really pretty nice, I think. And this was part of that pad that came with the scrapbook pad, I think. Pretty sure. That came with this, that I made the cover out of. So I tried to use pieces of it to make everything cohesive. That's one thing that I've learned, is to make everything cohesive. Even if you're not using like a digital, you can use themes throughout that are repetitive, papers or whatnot, colors, whatever you can to make things cohesive. And this came from there, I believe, from that pad. And I just decorated with some little miscellaneous things. There you can see the pink embroidery. And this is, I took from one of my sheet music books and made the inside paper. These are really pretty. I think they were from a different stash. And then I used a stencil to make this paper, and I thought it turned out really cute. I had like the diamond stencil, and then these wreath and bee stencil, or stamp. No, that was a stamp, and this was stenciled onto this paper that I coffee dyed. And stamped and layered. A little cheesecloth and my tea bag that I dried out. And so this, I think I just experimented a little bit more than I did on my first real junk journal that I previously showed. Used a little corner cutouts, made a cute little belly band. One's just a little bit more eclectic maybe. Here's from a book. This one, yeah, I like this. We're going through this together. I haven't really looked at this one for a while. It's pretty cute, I have to say. Is that braggadocious? Is that a word? I think it is. Layered some things here. Made a cute belly band with snippets. That's what I did. I forgot all about that. I learned to make snippets and did that. Man, I haven't looked at this for a while. Lace and a button on a tag from this is from a digital that I will show later in another journal that I'm making and need to finish. Some tags that I decorated. Again, this is from some paper just to use the same elements and theme to make it cohesive. Cute. I kind of like this journal. Oh boy. And I love this lace glued on, and I love stamping sayings and things that make us think and contemplate. More coffee stained paper. That's a big, I think that's a vellum sticker. And it just kind of, again, just went with the theme of the big flowers and roses. Just tore the edge here, that paper. Here's some more that I cut out and just tore decorative edge, maybe with my ruler. Again, just making the same theme throughout so it's all cohesive. This was part of that scrapbook pad. And because it was nice and thick, that's what I made the center of my signature. And Kathy from Kathy's Garden taught me to, when you use embroidery floss, you want to put a little drop of glue in there so that it can't come undone if you're not going to use waxed thread. So I appreciated learning that. Here's a little bit of a taking from the scrapbook pad, the cutout cards. And I thought that was cute, having the graduated sizes there. This is from my ephemera stash that I made and learned how to do this from Kathy's Garden. Basically, you can make pockets out of folding a scrapbook piece of paper. These are just from my stash. And then you decorate it with some bling and some lace and a label, just using up pieces that you have. Putting that back in the pocket there. But it's kind of fun to have those readily available when you make a junk journal. First, I really didn't know that it was, you know, something I'd care about, but I do like having them. Here's my lady that I have a stamp of. Another snippet belly band that I made. Some cards. More lace. Another tea bag that I decorated with more of the, this is the bag that holds the tea bag. And then this is the tea bag itself that I dried and used for layering. More coffee stained paper. A little belly band and a tag. Pretty, huh? And then I created a little tab for this by making little paper ruffles and then layering another one on it and then putting some bling. Thought that turned out pretty cute. Another sticker, another snippet belly band. Well, that didn't go in there. Part of the paper from a book. And I thought this was cute to use because it had the pink theme. And then I cut that out and glued this paper on to reinforce the edge a little bit. I've got some more paper or lace. And here I took some paper. It was from a digital, and I just tore it into similar sizes to create, and stapled them together to create a little extra journaling space for this paper. And I used this, one of my favorite stamps, and I used, I think, all the same color ink throughout here to make it cohesive mostly. This was something I watched a tutorial one day and learned how to make pockets from book pages. And so this was from the sheet music book, one of them that I have. And then again, I used the same, different size, but same theme and paper for the cards. Another one, and this one, these are all from a digital, and this is from a book, and it made a bunch of pockets because of the way I folded it. I wouldn't know how to do it again without watching the tutorial, but they're readily available, so we can do that, right? And I love this. This one turned out really cute the way I decorated it. It's the back of the book almost. Oh, wow. This is like a surprise to me, see? Because I haven't looked at it for so long. And I really love it. It turned out pretty cute. More journaling cards. This was just a piece of paper that I had, and I put something on the top to kind of reinforce it and glued it down. This kind of ties in the theme from this scrapbook paper by using sections of it, and cut the corners off there. This was a coffee stained thick piece of paper that I just folded and glued a certain way to make pockets. Vellum envelope. A fussy cut. I didn't fussy cut anything. I haven't fussy cut anything yet. It's just part of the stashes that I keep getting from garage sales and purchasing. And then we're getting towards the back here. Again, more coffee stained paper doily that I glued onto paper to reinforce both. Another one of these. I thought those were pretty fun, just to create extra journaling space. And it's simple. You just staple them and I saw somebody take a Sharpie, a gold Sharpie, and color their staples, but mine are actually purple, so I like that. But this piece of paper, see, I just rounded the corners and then folded it up to make the pockets on the front and the back. And it's fairly sturdy, really. I thought, and I know other people have done it this way, so they must last fairly well. You don't have to make them out of a book or even a file folder or a cereal box or anything like that. You can just keep it simple, and that's kind of what I did with this cover. I didn't even feel it needed much decoration. I liked the bling that I glued on there. Came in a big strip like that, and that with the washi I felt was just perfect. I love this little journal. Thanks for making me get it out and showing you guys. I love it. Well, again, I'm here to inspire and to say if I can do it, you can do it. I've put Jojo to sleep, so I hope I didn't put you guys to sleep, but I hope I have inspired you. I hope you will like, share, and subscribe if I have, and thank you for watching. Take care now.